Hi everyone, my name is Jennifer O'Connell and today I'm going to be giving you a talk on a few aspects of DCU, but starting off with the importance of the choice you're going to be making when it comes to choosing your subjects for a senior cycle in school. So to get started then, just to give an overview of what we're going to take a look at today. First things first, we're going to talk about your choice of subjects for senior cycle. Then we're going to just move into giving an overview, I guess, on suppose who we are here in DCU, what's involved. I'm going to talk about the Faculty of Science and Health courses. They're the only ones I'm going to talk about today. However, if you are interested in other DCU courses, such as in the School of Business or the Institute of Education, there's tons of information on the website about those. I'm just going to talk about the ones for science and health today. And then we'll finish up with talking about what's it actually like on DCU campus and when you're a DCU student. So first things first then, your choice of subjects for senior cycle, it's quite a big decision to make, which is why it's good to take some time to actually think about it. So in order, firstly, I suppose, just to flag, in order to study science in DCU, you're required to have studied at least one science subject at Leaving Certificate level. Okay, so let's say you go to do a chemistry course in DCU like I did. It's actually not a requirement to have studied chemistry at Leaving Cert level. You just need to have studied one science subject. The science subjects that you guys have offered to you in school are biology, chemistry and physics, computer science, and agricultural science as well. Okay, so I'm going to talk through these at the moment. So first things first, biology. Biology was one of my favorite subjects in school. I absolutely loved it. It was a subject that was really relatable in that you know how the breathing system works because obviously we all breathe. You know how the circulatory system works, that's our heart. So it's quite a relatable subject and you can apply it to kind of everyday life in that case. Really interesting and definitely one of my favorite subjects. Chemistry and physics then, they really represent up and coming areas kind of at the moment in Ireland and worldwide for that matter. And it's fantastic that there are more courses, I guess, being offered in these areas. I did chemistry for Leaving Cert and once again, loved it. The experiments were fantastic, a really, really interesting course. I didn't do physics though, and I almost regret not doing physics because I'd heard from friends that it was really practical and you really did kind of get to learn how things worked. So, I'd recommend it, if you could choose all these science subjects, I would if I was in your position. Another one you have offered to you then would be computer science, which once again, along with chemistry and physics, represents a huge area at the moment that's really growing internationally. So having the opportunity to do that in school, you're in a fantastic position, especially if it's something you're interested in and would like to go on to do in college as well. Being able to be exposed to that at Leaving Cert level is a fantastic opportunity. And then agricultural science is a fantastic hands-on subject where you really do learn how life works on the farm and then in the agricultural industry as well. So it's a fantastic opportunity for you to take that subject if that's what you're interested in. I'm going to now just talk about what I did in school. So the subjects I did were biology and chemistry for my Leaving Cert. I always had a huge interest in science. So I always knew I was going to pick at least two science subjects. And I just loved the kind of sound of biology and chemistry. My other subject then was geography. So based on this I then went on to study analytical science in DCU as well. And this is a 4-year undergraduate course, which involves biology and chemistry. Now in first year, it was a general science course. So I did physics as well. But then from first year on, it was just into biology and chemistry, which was excellent. So I did find it very helpful to have studied chemistry in school. And I just wanted to mention this because a lot of people who maybe didn't study chemistry in school and did biology and physics, let's say, they would have found the chemistry in school slightly tougher than other people who may have done chemistry before. And this was purely because you don't have those initial stepping stones or the initial grounding in different subjects, different areas in chemistry that you do get if you do the Leaving Cert course. And while in first year of college, everything is started from a basic level, it is nice to have that initial understanding of, for example, what the mole is or the structure of an atom. And this might be a bit unfamiliar to you if you haven't done science either in junior cycle, but having that kind of basic understanding to then put your other, the learning that you get in chemistry in college too, it does put you in a bit of a better position. So I would recommend that if you can see yourself going down the route of picking science for college, definitely consider picking chemistry. Because especially obviously if you want to do a chemistry course, but if you're undecided what science course you might like to do, having chemistry is a very, very good subject to have. Currently then now I'm completing my professional Masters of Education in DCU as well to become a secondary school science teacher, and after this I'll be qualified to teach junior cycle science, leaving certificate biology and leaving certificate chemistry as well. So it kind of shows that even back when I was choosing my subjects for my Leaving Cert, this was always the path I knew that I would go down. And so it's really nice to kind of see that progression come true, I guess, at the moment. So this does emphasize then the importance of the choice you will be making when it comes to choose your subjects. And I suppose if I give one piece of advice is to pick at least one science subject. That's all I can say. They're just so fantastic when it comes to experiments. Experiments are where you do all of your learning, and science is one of those ones that you really do get to put into practice what you have learned in the classroom and really see what happens. So I often found that, if I was sitting, even when it happened in college, and I was trying to take in theory about a reaction or about an experiment, it wasn't until I actually got to do it that it made sense. And that's really nice to know that in science, you have a lot of opportunities for that to happen by literally just trying out the experiment yourself. So I can't stress enough the importance, pick at least one science subject, if not two. If I was back in your position, I'd pick three. I'd pick all of them because I really enjoyed physics, not physics. I would have picked physics if I went back now, but I really enjoyed biology and chemistry. So I can't stress the enough kind of the importance of trying to think ahead for the moment into where can you see yourself? What path can you see yourself going down after school? And put that thought then into choosing your subjects for your Leaving Cert. So we're going to then just take a look at a kind of overview of life here in DCU. So firstly, who are we here? We've over 18,000 students. 20% of those students are international students. We have 3 academic campuses. We've more than 70 undergraduate courses, 140 clubs and societies. So really important, it's not just about what happens in the lecture hall and the academic side of college. A huge part of college life is getting involved outside as well. And then 70% of courses here offer an intra work placement. And intra, as I'll come on to talk to you a bit later, is something to keep in mind. It's a fantastic opportunity. It was definitely one of my favorite aspects of my course, but I will talk about it later on. So where are we then, I guess? A few kind of landmarks, I suppose, to keep in mind about Dublin, I guess. So DCU Glasnevin campus is just up here. Hopefully you can see where my mouse is at the moment. And then DCU St. Patrick's campus and DCU All Hallows campus are just down here. So in relation to a few other areas then, we have O'Connell Street here. Dublin Airport is just 15 minutes from the city. We have Croke Park, and we have the Botanic Gardens as well. So it's accessible. All DCU campuses are accessible by Dublin Bus, Bus Éireann, Irish Rail, and the M50 as well. On campus then, there's an inter-campus bike scheme, an inter-campus electric scooter scheme as well. So if it happens that you choose a course in which you have to go from, let's say, Glasnevin down to St. Patrick's campus or to All Hallows, there's bike schemes or electric scooters there as well. And then there's obviously parking on campus as well. Some courses may have a mixture between Glasnevin and All Hallows, and St. Patrick's as well. If you're interested in, for example, teaching science, there's 2 main routes that you could go down. You could go through what I did in that you do an undergraduate degree in science and then do your professional master's in education after that. Or you could do one of the science education courses. So science education would qualify you to teach 2 of Leaving Cert chemistry, Leaving Cert physics, and then maths as well. And then obviously the junior cycle equivalents of them as well. We have PE and biology and PE and maths as well. So they're just a mixture of education and science. So you could expect to possibly have a bit of a commute from Glasnevin down to St. Patrick's campus. So we have 3 campuses, as we mentioned. This is the new library down in St. Patrick's campus in Drumcondra. This is a building in All Hallows campus, which is a fantastic, All Hallows is a really lovely grounds. And if you happen to be down there for lectures or classes, it's a lovely place to walk around. And then we have our DC Glasnevin campus, which is where all the science courses are based. So on the left here, once again, hopefully you can see where my mouse is pointing to. This is the nursing building, just on the left. Straight ahead of us then, that's the engineering building. And then we have our distinctive DCU letters on the right-hand side. An interesting fact is that in behind these letters, there is a new building being developed, and it's going to be a STEM future tech building. And once again, this emphasizes the up and coming area of STEM at the moment and why thought should be put into your college, not into your college, into your Leaving Cert choices. This building will aim to offer a lot more students the opportunity to study STEM related courses in DCU. And it's going to be fantastic. And hopefully by the time you guys are heading to college and to be picking your colleges, hopefully that should be up and running. And it aims to be something really fantastic. So definitely something to be excited about there. So then you probably recognize a few of these names, just a few famous alumni that DCU have. So when you come to DCU, you'll be following in the footsteps of a lot of famous and very successful people as well. So it's lovely to know that as well. So our DCU courses then, as I said, I'm going to talk mainly just about the Faculty of Science and Health courses for the moment. But just to mention firstly that at the moment, DCU are number 1 in Ireland and 19th in the world for graduate employment rate. And that's quite a reassuring figure to know, in that it's very likely you're going to get employed once you finish your degree here in DCU. I said I'd come back to Intra, and Intra is a fantastic opportunity, as I've said. 60% of students would receive a job offer from their Intra placement. So what Intra is it gives you the opportunity to go out while you're still studying in DCU and complete a placement in the industry that you are doing some study in. So for example, when I did my degree in analytical science, I went on and I did my Intra placement in Forensic Science Ireland, and I got to see how that worked. I obviously completed work myself there. I was working there for a few months and it was fantastic. Other people were in pharmaceutical companies. And then other people had more maybe hands-on field work where they were out collecting environmental samples as well. And that's just for the science courses. For business related courses, you can expect a wide range of things to be completed for them as well. And a lot of my friends who did their Intra placement are now back in the place that they did their placement with a job. So it's quite nice to have that reassuring fact that it's likely that you will be employed by where you did your Intra placement when you finish up. But as I said, Intra really does give you the opportunity to put into practice what you've learned in your course and really see if this is where you can see yourself working. So it's a fantastic opportunity, a really big selling point for our courses here. So university structure then. It breaks up into 5 different faculties. We have the Faculty of Engineering and Computing, the DCU Business School, Institute of Education, Science and Health, and then Humanities and Social Sciences. In each of them then, we have 9 courses in Engineering and Computing, 11 courses in DCU Business School, 10 courses in the Institute of Education, and then 23 in the Science and Health, and 17 in our Humanities and Social Sciences. So as I said, we're going to take a look at Science and Health today. This does fall in with engineering and computing as well. So in this, we have the School of Mechanical and Manufacturing Engineering. So here's the range of courses we have here. We've common entry into engineering, mechanical and manufacturing engineering, mechatronic engineering, biomedical engineering, and then mechanical and sustainability engineering. These courses range from 476 points up to 511. Then we have the School of Electronic and Computer Engineering, and this course, Electronic and Computer Engineering, was 488 points. And then we have the School of Computing, which has Computing for Business, Computer Science, once again, linking back to one of your options for Leaving Cert, and then Data Science as well. So these are our courses that are offered for engineering here in DCU. Then in the Faculty of Science and Health, a really wide range. In the School of Psychology, we have psychology, psychology and maths, and then psychology and disruptive technology, once again ranging from 506 points up to 565. Then we have in the Science and Health, Science of Health and Human Performance, we have Sports Science and Health, Athletic Therapy and Training, PE with Biology, and PE with Maths. So these PE with Biology and PE with Maths, these are our teaching courses. With PE and Biology, you will be qualified to teach Leaving Cert Biology and Junior Cycle Science, and then PE as well. And then PE and Maths, you're qualified to teach Maths and PE. Then in the School of Nursing, Psychotherapy and Community Health, we have General Nursing, Mental Health Nursing, Intellectual Disability Nursing, Children's and General Nursing, and Health and Society, ranging from 420 points up to 521 points. Then we have the School of Chemical Sciences. So this is where my course is. So there's a new course, the Chemical Sciences General Entry, in that you can choose to just go into your kind of general chemistry and then branch out, or you can choose to go directly into one of these courses. It'll be the same first year regardless. So there's Analytical Science, Chemical and Pharmaceutical Sciences, Chemistry with AI, that's a new course and extremely interesting. Environmental Science and Technology, and then Science Education. Once again, Science Education being your teaching, science teaching course. It's important to note that with Science Education, PE of Biology and PE of Maths, you are qualified to teach after your 4-year undergraduate degree. Whereas if you chose the pathway that I went down, you do your 4-year undergraduate degree and then do a 2-year master after that to become a teacher. So these are our courses for chemistry, ranging from 423 up to 531 points. If we move on to then to the School of Biotechnology, we have Biological Sciences General Entry, same as what the Chemical Sciences General Entry is. It's just a general entry into biology courses, and then you can choose to branch out. Or once again, you can go directly into one of these courses, having the same first year regardless. The different courses then offered, we have Genetics and Cell Biology, Biotechnology, and then a new course, Bioprocessing, which is a really interesting area at the moment as well. We then have the School of Physical Sciences, and you can only go into physics by choosing the Physics with General Entry course. You can't just go straight into one of these courses. You will choose that after your first year. And the Physics General Entry course is 400 points in the CAO. So that's just a kind of brief overview about the science and then computing and engineering courses that are offered here. I can't recommend them enough. I had a fantastic time in college and gained a lot of independence through labs, and I just can't recommend it enough. And then we have also, forgot to mention, the School of Mathematical Sciences, where you have common entry into actuarial and financial maths and actuarial maths as well. So what is life actually like on campus? There's a lovely mixture between academic in DCU and then your extracurriculars, whether that be sport, drama, dancing, music, anything like that. There's something for you to get involved in here. So some of the facilities we have our indoor pool and our gym, fantastic football, or not just football, actually just AstroTurf facility here, a 3G pitch. We have a lot of places recently done up on campus just to sit down and relax in between your lectures. These two pictures here and here represent our new student center, and that's the inside of the student center there, where you can just literally just sit down in between your lectures and just take a break. And that's really important when you're in college. And then we have our libraries. So this picture up here, this is the DCU St. Patrick's Library. And then the Start Glasnevin Library down here as well. Then our science lab, just a picture of the science labs on the left there. The science labs have some fantastic facilities for you to be using fully. You have full use of them. For example, when I was in college in third year, we got to use a scanning electron microscope in which we could see a strand of hair zoomed into a ridiculous amount. And we got to use that and gained fantastic experience from that. So there's over, as we said, 140 clubs and societies in DCU, and they spread across all campuses and cater for any interest, any hobby, or any passions that you have. You can actually just set up your own as well if there doesn't happen to be one there that represents what you'd like to do. You can just set up your own club and society as well. A few of the clubs we have would be archery, basketball, GAA, rugby, table tennis, rock climbing. There's a rock climbing wall in DCU, and then surfing as well. And there's a whole list there as well. Societies then, would you believe there's actually a coffee society? Fairly sure there's a tea society as well. Media production, drama, film, baking, sustainable living, anything you can think of, there's a society there to get involved in. And that's where you really build up your extra experience as well, because it is important to show that you're not just focusing on college in academic side, let's say. It's important to get involved in the other activities that happen in college, because that's where you make connections as well. So for example, if let's say you are interested in science, but you also have a really keen interest in media production, you can do your science degree, but also do media production in your society and get full use of the media production equipment and radio studios, for example, that might be there as well. So that's fantastic to know that you don't have to shut off an interest entirely. You can keep up your interests, whether it's through your actual course that you're doing, if you're interested in science, but then also doing the society in media production as well, just as an example, or be that drama. So it's important to get involved in the other stuff that's in college as well. The sports and wellbeing were actually the award-winning Sports Centre of the Year and Sports University of the Year 2020, and sports scholarships. If you're interested in applying for them now, date will probably change by the time you guys come to apply, but it's usually around May is when you need to have your applications in for. And here's just some pictures of the facilities. So this is the basketball court up on the DCU Glasnevin campus, and then this is the basketball court down in St. Patrick's campus. The football pitch, as I mentioned, that's up here, it also has a running track just beside it, kind of sprint track. And then we have a fully equipped gym. There's a list over here of what we have. There's a 25-meter swimming pool, a sauna, steam room, indoor sports area, squash courts, running track. There's tons of stuff there to get involved in. Student support and development, that's also very important to keep in mind, that if you need any assistance during college, there's always someone there to help. Just as an example, we have these what we call escape pods, and they're completely soundproof, and it's just if you ever need to kind of take a minute for yourself, do some silent work, you can go in here and just escape for a bit. Access into DCU, then we have the Here and There scheme, and we're actually the world's first autism friendly institution as well. So this moves on then to studying at DCU. We have health and well-being through counselling and GP service, student advice centre, life coaching, financial advice, be that grants and scholarships, and then academic support, learning support, and the Maths Learning Centre. The Maths Learning Centre is located in the library, and I can guarantee you that almost everyone on my course used the Maths Learning Centre at least once, definitely more than that. And it's a fantastic opportunity where if you have a question to do for maths, for example, and you're struggling a little bit with it, you can go in there and, the guys in there will just help out. They're obviously, they'll go through the method with you to actually make sure you understand what's going on as well. And then employability, when it comes to your kind of final year, be that third year or fourth year, DCU Career Support is there with careers fairs, career advice, and then CV and interview skills prep as well. On campus accommodation, then, if this is something you're considering, it's the accommodation is for the academic year. It's allocated via a lottery system, and now the date will probably change, as we said before. You guys come to apply if you're only in third or TY now, but it's usually around February time that the applications need to be in. So I suppose the next steps then, if you're interested, we have a Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat page. All of the handles are there for you to look at. We do an all about DCU series. We do in conversation with, where it's like a conversation with DCU students in certain courses where they might talk about their experience in the courses. Then we do Instagram and Snapchat takeovers, live sessions and giveaways as well, and then live updates on Twitter as well. So a few dates to keep in mind if you're eager to get looking at DCU. On the 19th of November, there's a virtual open day. And then on the 20th, there's an on-campus open day as well, which is brilliant. On the 18th of January, then there's a CAO information session. 2nd of April, it's the DCU Spring Open Day. 28th of April, the TY Open Day, and then the 28th of June is the June Open Day as well. So really good to kind of keep those dates in mind, and to keep in mind if you want to come and see what it's actually like up here in DCU. So I hope you found that helpful. And if you have any further questions, you can always email studenthelp@dcu.ie. We're always more than happy to help with any kind of queries that you have. And I suppose going forward, I wish you all the best luck in the rest of your school. And just keep in mind what I said. Try to pick at least one science subject and pick one that you're interested in, because having the interest means you really want to work at it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and take care.